Yeah, just a tiny bit. Exciting first day. I think it should be a good game.
And what was it like facing sort of mystery spinner and Aperada?
Yeah, I mean, he bowled very well. For me personally, I just tried to sweep every ball he bowled, really. So tried to stick to my game and not worry about what he was doing.
What's the mood in the camp at the moment? Obviously, it's a bit of a different position, but still potentially a decent score on that wicket.
Yeah, I think we're pretty happy. On other days we might have got 350, other days we might have got 150 all out on that pitch. So, yeah, we know we're a couple of wickets away tomorrow morning from today being a very good day.
And it looks like it's spending a lot from our side. What's it like out there?
Yeah, definitely spinning. I think it's going to be tricky to start. So, hopefully we can take wickets in clusters tomorrow and, every time a new man comes in, really crowd them and try and take wickets in clusters, yeah.
We saw Martin on 97.3 miles an hour. That's a bit of a different weapon, obviously, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%, and that was also on a very slow pitch. So I was side on, and it was very quick. It's going to be so handy when we, eventually get them 5-6 down, and the bowlers come in, and we know we'll be getting him ready to come on.
Ben, you alluded to it then, but on another day, would some other maybe England teams in the past that have been a bit more tentative in those conditions against that bowl have been bowled out cheaply?
Potentially, yeah. Other teams around the world, or even if Pakistan had batted today, we were really focused on being positive. If we didn't score at that rate, it could have easily been 150, 200 all out. So I think it's pretty clear what our game plan is, and I think the more it spins, the harder we'll go.
Have you read the conditions right with your team selection? 3 frontline seamers and Ben, Ollie Robinson hasn't bowled tonight. Would have been handy to have another spinner maybe in Ryan Albert?
Yeah, potentially. It's above my paycheck, but we kept Popey with the gloves, and we thought having the extra seamer would help us. We never know, that ball might start reversing in first innings, so I'll answer that question in 4 days.
Pretty special debut for Abraham. What did you make of the way that he bowled, and do you now feel as though slightly more equipped to deal with him, having seen what he's got?
I felt comfortable facing him. My game plan will be the same second dig to him. Other people, I'm sure that after that they'll have their own theories on how to play him. He bowled really nicely today, we'll come hard at him second dig.
A couple of balls that got wickets might be turned googlies, but didn't come out the traditional way of googly. What did you make of those skills that he's got? And how tricky is it when you come up against someone who just does something a little bit different?
Yeah, I mean, the control he had throughout his spell was very good. Generally someone like that will give you bad balls, and he tended to miss on the fuller side, which is what you want from someone who can spin it both ways. That's kind of why I swept, because it doesn't matter which way it's spinning if you're sweeping.
Just finally from me as well, did you detect maybe even a hint of ultra aggression from the Pakistani players, maybe trying to follow in your slipstream with the way that they're trying to take down the English spinners?
I don't think they were quite 6 and over yet, but yeah, I mean, the fields that Stokesy sets, are so aggressive. It allows them to play shots, but that's exactly what we want them to do. We want them to start taking risks, and that's how we're going to get wickets.
And then, I was wondering, how often is it, how much of the role have you seen ball coming today, and how often is it in the international game or in the franchise game that you play against someone that you haven't seen that much before?
I mean, I guess when anyone starts their career, you haven't seen much of them. We had limited footage. I'm sure different players looked at as much or as less as they wanted. I didn't look at much footage. For me, when someone spins it both ways, I'd rather kind of not know how necessarily good he is or see all of his magic balls. I'd rather focus on, how am I going to be effective against him and have a clear game plan of how to score runs against someone like that. So yeah, not a great deal, but there was definitely footage there. And if I'm totally honest, he really was a leg spinner with a googly. That was all it was at the end of the day, and he bowled beautifully. No, not at all. You know, I'm sure under Baz and Stokesy, you'd know that we wouldn't start bigging up opposition and we wouldn't worry about what they can do. It's purely focus on us and how we were going to go about it.
Last one for me. Well, you obviously premeditate your sweeps, you go both ways. Can you give us a little insight on what your thought decision-making process is when you go conventional versus when you go reverse?
Depends a lot on the field. You know, I obviously don't want to give too much away, but when certain fields are set, you know, I find there's areas of the field where I can access, and there's shot like a sweep shot I can play which I feel like I can't get out to with certain fields. You know, generally, obviously, I'll reverse when there's space over there, and I feel like when they've packed that side, I'll then try and maybe get someone back over there. But you know, there's not too much thought. Generally, he's at the end of his mark, and I'll just decide if I'm going to play a reverse or a sweep or a paddle, and just try and fully commit to it.
Hi Ben, this is Virat passing across this cricket. First of all, congratulations on playing a half century. So over the course of the last 7 to 8 years, we've seen that England have adopted this high-risk stroke play, which is now translating into Test cricket as well. But you've been at it in limited overs cricket for quite a while. I want to ask that, given that you've practiced so much, sweeping, reverse sweeping, playing unconventional stroke play, it doesn't come across as unconventional or unorthodox to us as viewers anymore. But to you guys as players, is that the same way? Is it a high-risk stroke for you anymore, or is this just second nature?
I mean, it's only as high risk to nicking off playing a drive, against the new ball. For me, it's a shot that, especially on a pitch like today, I would much rather get out playing a sweep shot than playing a forward defence. It got me runs today and it made me score quick. And I said to myself, as soon as the spin came on, I'm going to get out sweeping here. I'm not going to, get out caught short leg or anything like that. And 2 years ago, I might have played differently today. But with the backing of the captain and the coach, I'm pretty sure they'd be quite annoyed with me if I'd have got out blocking the short leg. For me, generally a sweep is kind of my forward defence, especially when the ball's spinning into me. And yeah, I'm gutted I've missed 2 in the last 2 games. But when I'm going to be playing plenty more out here, and there's a chance I'll get out to it again. But it's just a shot for me now that I try and commit, and it's a go-to option.
Then how different Abrar is from Ashley?
Sorry?
How different is Abrar from Ashley, Ravi Ashley?
Well, they couldn't be more. They couldn't be. They're so different. One's an off spinner and one's a leg spinner. I'd never compare anyone to Ashwin really. In my eyes, he's probably the greatest off spinner to ever play the game. But yeah, one spins it away from me and the other one spins it into me.
Ben, don't you think that the best ball mantra was working well for you guys, but this pitch was not about the best ball mantra. You didn't feel you guys were playing too much sweep shots. It was part of best mantra, or it was out of the box?
No, it's just I think that when the pitch is doing more, I think we're going to generally go even harder. I'm sure the guys did that last summer when it was nipping around in England, and it's probably going to spin more when we bat second innings, and we're certainly not going to go into our shell and block it. The way to score runs on this pitch is to be positive, and sweep's a great option on here. It's not massive bounce, the occasional one is, but yeah, it's a great shot to have out here, and we'll be looking to do the same second innings.
हर मुख्तलिफ न्यूज़ अपडेट के लिए iNews365 को सब्सक्राइब करें और हमारे साथ जुड़े रहने के लिए नोटिफिकेशन बेल को क्लिक करना ना भूलें ताकि हर खबर रहे आपकी नज़र में।